has completed, the session's done. What is one thing that you do after the session that has increased business?
One thing has done that increased business.
Some people talk about referrals.
Yeah.
Some people talk about upsells.
So, yeah, I mean, what makes it, and I mean, it's a good question because for what I do personally in my company, and it's not just myself, I have multiple team members that work for us. Mm-hmm. We do so many different genres: weddings, corporate, commercial work, family portraits, maternity session. So obviously there's a workflow for everything. And this is like no different from the workflow that we have with you guys. I can't just use, one profile for example, bodybuilding profile to use for a wedding. It just doesn't make sense. And or a wedding used for the fitness stuff that we do. So creating different profiles play a very big factor in it. I honestly just look for, if I want to go do a family portrait, right then and there, we'll photograph it. We're tethering. I really recently got into tethering the last few years ago. It's been a game changer for our business. Is no different from headshots. Once you tether, everything's already in the computer. I have a tech person on site. They're filtering the images that we feel that is not the best, because we always want to have the clients look at the images that they love, and from there we run a quick process through through the Imagine software. I'll keep wanting to say imagen-ai, which is not imagen-ai anymore, right? So
yeah, by the time that this episode airs, we will just be called Imagine. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep on saying Imagine. All right. So Imagine quickly it will process those images real quick. So when we're done with that session, we usually take maybe a 30-minute to 40-minute break in between that time frame. Sometimes an hour, and we like to schedule these sessions. There's like a little lunch break or maybe like a little dinner break. We order food in. So when the food comes out, everyone could relax. They could talk about, the session, could talk about ourselves, just getting to build that rapport with them even more, even though that rapport is already built way before they shoot. So when we go into the session, they're really comfortable. Once we're done, and that's when we set up the viewing and ordering session. And from there, that's where they make the selections for their wall art pieces, any kind of prints that they want to gift to anyone. And we find out all this information, like whose birthdays are coming up, is mom's birthday, or then from there we also design an album for them right then and there on site, so it gets them really excited. Once we're done with that, they actually literally all they have to do is take out their credit card and make a purchase. So, and they also get all the pricing, by the time they book, they get all the pricing in hand. So they already know what they're going to be expecting to pay. So there's no misunderstanding, and, and also, you let them know what's the process. I'm sure a lot of people, which I see when I teach, is the biggest issue is they have clients that don't want to pay, or they become a little bit more reserved in what they want to spend after. And the reason why is because you're not mentally preparing them for it. Yeah. And also, and everyone has a certain budget, and we have to be, it's okay for them not to spend, or for you not to make your average. So majority of my clientele, they usually know they're going to be spending X amount of money more. And I'm constantly during the whole process. So for example, if I have a client that hired us to do a family session in Naples, which let's say next month, I'm going, they already know beforehand that they're going to be upgrading no matter what. And I'm already visualizing where that possible wall art piece will go in their home. So I'm also purposely photographing that, I'm putting that in their heads. So when I photograph everything, I'm going to redesign everything to showcase that on their wall. So now it's going to be really hard for them. Every time they pass that area around their home, they're going to visualize that piece of wall art. So when it comes to the session, it's pretty much 9 out of 10 times they're going to buy it. So yeah, I mean, that's really more of, making those sales, building those relationships, and there's no BS. There's never like, oh, well, Will, you never told me that. Oh, Will, you never sent me that. Will, I never saw that in the fine print. No, we sent it several times to you. And we also, every time we set up a consultation, we go over just snippets of everything. So we're all on the same page.
Yeah,
so it's coaching.
Yeah, that comes back to setting the expectations, like what you talked about earlier. It goes back to, underselling, over-delivering. and even more so, making your client feel like family. You're making them
Correct.
feel comfortable and included and cared for.
Correct. And like going back to what you just said, it's building the trust. Think about it.
Yeah.
If you build that trust, it's gonna be so much easier to sell. And like, you gotta be genuine about it. Don't be a jerk about it. I see. Yeah, so I do some mentorship, and sometimes I sit in some consultations with them, and I'm like, why would you say that? Why would you do that? Like, because they kind of went by either my format or by someone else's format. And it's okay to take bits and pieces, but don't try to emulate someone else that you're not. So for me, I have a very sarcastic and really, I like to have a good time. I like to laugh. My sarcasticness doesn't work with all clientele. And usually the clients that come and book me, they know I'm sarcastic. They know for a fact, if you annoy me, I'm going to tell you, why are you being annoying? I just took care of you. Let's move forward. Let's go. Let's do. So right. I kind of get away with stuff like that. Certain people can get away with that. There's certain, like, for example, there's certain clients that are very serious and they're very particular what they want. They don't want someone that's always laughing, someone that's always out there, or someone that's very outspoken. So those are the clients I don't book. And it's okay, because those are the clients that don't want me. And I think that's the reality of it. I think for everyone there's always going to be a particular person for you, particular client for you. So this is where you have to look out for those red flags. And I learned that, years down the line, being in my career. I used to try to take everyone, and the ones that I used to just take everywhere, left and right, those are the ones that really became an issue. It really, really became a nightmare in my career. So, but yeah, I mean, that's about growing, right? So.
Yep.